So each afternoon, everyone. So welcome to the phase two of our EH Junior Leadership Program. Our phase two would be focusing on the key leadership areas. Okay. So again, it's wonderful to see you again as we continue our leadership journey. Together. Yeah. In phase one, we discovered what leadership truly means, its purpose, its place, and who we are as leaders. But now in phase two, let's take another step. Let's take a bolder one because leadership growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens by action. Okay? Let's ponder on this one. So, sabi dyan, no, faith without action is dead. Medyo mabigat. Mabigat ba? Faith without action is dead. Or this verse or this phrase is in spiritually, no, nasa Bible to. Sabi nga doon, faith without action is dead. And if we will relate it to leadership, leadership works the same way. You can believe in your purpose, you can believe in your vision, but until you act on that belief, nothing changes. So what are our key points ba regarding this thought, no? Okay, so number one. So sabi do, what can we extract from that idea or from that phrase? So leadership is not a title. It's a lifestyle of practice. It's a practice. So many people, alam mo yun, tayo, alam naman natin kung ano yung leadership, no? Ah, alam natin what good leadership is. We can define it. We can talk about it and even we can teach it. But that knowledge, if it is not paired with action, para kang maliligaw, para kang walang mapa. And ang anong effect sa'yo nun? Maliligaw ka. Wala kang direction, you are not going anywhere. Okay? So every decision, every response, and every habit either builds up or breaks someone's leadership. Action turns intention to transformation. Hindi tayo pwedeng isipin lang natin na we can just think about being extraordinary and heroic. We cannot just think about being a leader person. I am a leader. I can be a leader. Hindi pwedeng nandun lang siya sa utak mo, no? So, the intention is good, but you must transform it much more trending purpose, no? Diba? That's na mag-equate dun sa extraordinary and heroic mission and vision natin, diba? You must act your way there. Sabi nga nila, leadership is shaped through decisions, no? Decisions, not just basta yung decision, no? Decisions that gives you value are those decisions that puts you under pressure. Because why? Tinetest nun yung integrity mo. Second, habits, diba? It sustains naman yung our leadership is shaped through the habits that manifest, diba, in through us. Discipline and relationships. So growth in leadership is visible in your actions, not your intentions. So if you will ask yourself, no, ito ba yung tipo ng tao na you lead others, you lead yourself just like you lead others and vice versa? Are your daily habits, no, aligned with the kind of leadership you show or the kind of leader you want to be? Or when challenges arise, are your choices your character? Diba? So growth in leadership is visible in your action. So you just have to reflect, no, na the way you lead by yourself is the way you are leading others. And the way you lead others is how you want to lead yourself also. It's a vice versa thing, no? Because leadership does not happen through others, you leading others alone. It always should start within you. Next, yung habits ba natin, yung pinapakita ba natin sa mga nasa paligid natin, especially dun sa mga nililid natin, are those habits aligned to what kind of leader you want to be? And then, when challenge arise, do your choices reflect the character that you want to pose? Or ano yung gusto mong mapakita na character mo as a leader, diba? So yun. Yun yung those points or those ideas or those factors. Yun yung real test mo of your leadership, whether your leadership is just in the head or you are showing it or acting upon it. Okay. And then next, the EH way. So, growth through extraordinary and heroic action. Lagi naman natin tong hina-highlight, no? Yung extraordinary and heroic. So, the extraordinary or the EH leader does not wait for the perfect time to act. Always remember that. They lead with courage, integrity, and wisdom in the moment they are called to act. So that's the difference, no? Marami kasing takot sa leadership because they are waiting for that perfect timing, no? They are waiting to be ready. They are waiting to be perfect before they accept leadership. But true leaders or the EH leaders or extraordinary and heroic leaders, in the moment they are called to act or they lead in the moment they are called to act, diba? Or when the circumstances or the scenario requires them to act, diba? So, yun yung each leader. And lastly, from inspiration to implementation. So, this is more of, to inspire is, alam mo yan, inspiration is on, hindi ko naman sinasabing shallow siya, but yun yung first part of yung transcendence kasi yung kumbaga kung lalaliman mo siya. Transcendence is not just inspiration, but you are translating something from inspiration. So yun yung natin dito, no? You will translate your leadership purpose into leadership practice. So it's not just inspiring yourself or inspiring others to become a leader, but putting your leadership into practice. So basically, yun yung pag-uusapan natin through this phase, no? Because in the end, leadership maturity is not proven by what we intend to, but by what we consistently do. So that's a keyword, no? What we consistently do, especially when no one is watching us. Okay, so in this phase 2, no, of EH Leadership Junior Program, we will help your leadership become visible and experience or how others can experience your leadership and to strengthen also your inner foundation so your leadership can impact sustainably and ethically. Okay, so yun. So activity agad tayo. Okay, so this is our first activity. So think of moments in your leadership when you wanted to act but didn't, or when you acted but not at your best. Identify. So ito yung key questions nyo, no? What held you back? What stopped you from doing it or acting upon it or acting on it? And secondly, what leadership area do you think you need to strengthen? Okay? So you just have to jot down your answers in a piece of paper. Here are your instructions po, no? From your individual reflections earlier, yung mga ginat down nyo from our reflection. So, as a group now, you will identify the top 3 to 5 areas of leadership that, number 1, that are most commonly mentioned or are most crucial to act in your next current context or in your current context pala. So, describe the consequences when this area is missing in a leader's life or organization. So, ano yung impact niya, no? Pag wala yung area na yon. Okay? So, summarize your insight. So, proceed na tayo dun sa ating main idea. So, what are the key leadership areas at a glance? So, kanina you were able to identify specific areas, no, like confidence, competence, ano pa nga yan? Accountability. Sige, isa-isahin ko lang. Balikan ko lang. So, meron kayo nabanggit na communication, accountability, empathy, decision-making, adaptability, emotional intelligence, confidence, initiative, communication, public speaking. So, marami sa inyo, no, yung kung i-assess natin, ang daming communication, confidence, parang yun lagi, no? Yun lagi yung nakikita natin. because hindi lahat ay they are not yet confident enough to, or they do not see yet themselves na they are fit for this kind of role. So they seem lacking, no, yung dahil previously, no, dati, nung nagsa-start ko lang din ako, I don't see myself acting as a leader in the future. Kasi nga, I felt the same way na naramdaman nyo. I am not competent enough. I am not confident enough to face the clients, to face yung leadership. I have lots of ideas in mind, but I'm scared to step up before. Yan. And then eventually, it just so happened na hindi mo talaga maiwasan na nagmamanifest siya, lumalabas na lang siya at nagtutuloy-tuloy siya. Yun. And then, I think it takes a lot of practice also. And how you want to be. How you want yourself or what you want to be in the future. Parang what you think you are right now, or sabi nga natin, sabi ko, di ba, parang wala naman ako intention to become a leader. But it eventually changed. Ginusto ko na rin siya. Not because I wanted position, I wanted leverage, but because that's what I want to do. That's what I want. I want people to remember me that I can lead them, diba? So yung nabanggit natin kanina, areas can actually be identified within this group: character and integrity, competence, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness. But I'd like to introduce to you two additional key areas that normally we don't, parang hindi natin siya naiisip. Kasi ang naisip lang natin, dapat pag leader ka, competent ka. Dapat pag leader ka, you can communicate well. Kung kapag leader ka, magaling ka magbigay ng decisions, magaling ka mag-delegate ng task. Yun yung nasa isip lang natin. That's why kanina, now, I'd like to introduce to you two more ideas, no? Or two more areas that a leader should have, or an each leader should have, or should focus on. Okay? This is self-care and leading your finances. Okay? So, let's break yung ano ba yung essence niya, and ano ba yung outcome focus natin for each key leadership areas, no? So, for self-care, sabi dito, leadership begins with personal vitality. So, you cannot lead if you don't know how to take care of yourself. If you do not know how to take care of yourself, how can you take care of other people? Yan. So, leaders protect and strengthen their energy to sustain the service. So, leaders protect themselves, strengthen their energy for them to be able to lead other people. So, hindi naman yan yung, what I mean is, as a leader, you should be able to, alam mo yun, hindi kayong sugod ka lang ng sugod. You always have to make time for yourself to reflect and then renew. Kasi at the end of the day, maraming nababurn out talaga, honestly, sa leadership. Why? Because they're giving 100%, 200% of their time and energy without, I mean, labas lang sila ng labas, no? Bigay lang sila ng bigay without thinking of themselves, without making time for them to, ang tawag dito, i-renew yung mga lost energies nila, no? Madali lang, like for example, na sa akin, sa case ko, ito, for example lang, itong nung Monday, we are pushed for a deadline. We have a deadline. And then, we are always, meron kami talaga laging deadline, no? Like, lalo na yung mga ICPA report na yan. And it's not really easy. And sometimes you have to extend yourself to complete the output, to provide or to complete the report that is needed to be submitted. So, not because your team is incompetent, but because they need you to really organize everything, to work on everything. Yun. So, it is very crucial. Hindi ka mapagod as a leader. Why? Kasi kapag ikaw ang napagod, unang-unang babagsak dyan na yun. You'll not be able to provide the service that is expected from you, no? And then, so sabi ko nga, di ba, marami kami mga reports, ganyan. But I make sure that in between those deadlines, I make sure that I give myself a break kasi hindi pwedeng maupos ako sa dulo. I have to give myself a break so that I can give them or provide my staff or my people an avenue for them to do their tasks properly. For me to be able to provide sound decisions and delegate task properly. Kasi kapag inako ko ng inako lahat, mababurn out ako. Yan. Mauubos ako and eventually, I will quit on leadership. Which is, dapat lagi natatandaan. You have to take care of yourself as a leader before you take care of others. Pero may catch siya na, huwag tayong palaging hayahay or siesta-siesta lang. We have to be responsible and accountable also with our actions. Okay? So next, character and integrity. So this is the moral compass of leadership. So it is the influence that earns trust and inspires respect from whom? From your people, from the people around you. Okay. So your character and integrity drives your leadership. So kung ano yung what you want to be as a leader, it is defined also by your character and integrity. Okay? Next, competence. So, kanina may mga nakita tayo na communication skills, decision making, and so because yan. So, meron tayong tinatawag na skills, no? So, communication skill is a skill. Communication is a skill. And then, we also have some technical aspects, no? Yung technical skills, yan. So, skills should always be, ang tawag dito, binded or paired with purpose for it to become effective. Yun yung competence, no? So, what is the outcome or our focus here? So, we deliver results that reflect both excellence and meaning. Yan. So, hindi lang tayo basta gagawa, hindi lang basta tayo magkakaroon ng output. So, whatever we do, there should be a meaning or a purpose behind it. Okay? And then, emotional intelligence and self-awareness. So, this is leading from the inside out. Sometimes, no, with the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Alam niyo yung phrase na yun, that verse in the Bible, that out of the abundance of the heart, what is inside actually manifests. It will manifest outside. So when we lead, we start from the heart. We start from hindi naman sinasabi dito yung maging emotional ka na. Pag ano, no? Pag may nakaaway ka, galit ka, ganun. Or may naka-confront ka or nakaaway mo yung client, dapat galit ka, nagmamanifest sa'yo yan. Hindi ganun. You have to have that intelligence, no? Yung emotional intelligence na sinasabi that whatever you feel inside, it should, or whatever your heart contains, no? Hindi physically contained, no? So, whatever your heart, ano yung nasa loob ng puso mo, yun yung sundin mo. De, joke lang. Yun yung dapat mag-manifest sa'yo for you to be able to build stronger relationships and make intentional choices. Yan. Pero hindi yan, you don't use it ano mo yan, yung hindi mo siya basta gagamitin na dapat emotionally, always pair it with intelligence. Pag sinabi nating intelligence, kailangan meron tayong wisdom din, no? When handling our emotions or when handling what's inside of us, o ano yung nasa loob ng puso natin, no? And we should be always self-aware. Self-aware ng mga bagay-bagay na kumbaga, you should aware on what is right, what is wrong, and ano ba yung impact ng mga decisions mo, yung mga choices mo sa buhay, no? Okay? And then, lastly, leading your finances is stewardship as leadership. So this is more on managing your resources wisely, not only for your personal, but also your organizational growth. So, what do you do with your finances? No? How do you, ikaw ba yung tipo na, I deserve ko to. Something like that, diba? Deserve ko to. I need to, anong tawag doon? I need to pamper myself because deserve ko to. Are you a person na ganun ba yung idea sa buhay? Or are you someone na, I should save up for something better. Or I should invest more. Or saan ko ba kaya magandang gamitin 'tong, extra ko na pera 'no? Marami kasi sa atin 'no, that when lalo na kapag sobrang stress, sobrang pagod na pagod, gano'n yung an escape nila 'no. Some people would say, "Sige ano tayo, milk tea tayo or Starbucks tayo kasi deserve ko 'to." 'Yun. So, we are not discounting that mindset, but we will just add tawag dito, a guide on how you will manage your resources wisely. So let's put wisdom on managing our resources. So it's not bad that you give yourself rewards. Hindi naman masama yun. But you have use it wisely, use it effectively, use it with wisdom. Okay? Okay. So let's start with ano no, self-care. Yeah. There's a scenario here ano to further ano lang, highlight lang naman tayo what is self-care, 'di ba? And yung key areas of leadership. Yun. So sabi, a leader cannot pour from an empty cup. So sustained excellence come from balance and intentional rest. So, eto ang scenario natin. So, si Ana daw, team leader, has been working overtime to meet a big project deadline. Her team notices she's exhausted, yet she continues to take on every task herself to make sure everything's perfect. Did it occur to you sometimes, or sino dito yung mga ano, no? Mga perfectionist na leader? Ako, I myself, I consider myself somehow perfectionist. Pero yung minsan hindi mo pa rin maiiwasan talaga na kahit na tinarget mo siyang perfect yung output mo, may lalabas at lalabas pa rin talagang imperfections to that. Pero pag sinabi natin kasing sometimes, no, kung gusto mo maging perfect, you just want to lahat ng nailagay mo kunwari dun sa isang report na yon ay maayos, nailatag mo ng maigi, regardless kung may mga konting mistakes or errors, minimal, yun. Parang ganun din, no? Ayun, yung sa perfectionism, no? May mga leaders talaga kasi na they want to make sure that everything's perfect. That ako, myself, I want a report to be, kailangan buong-buo yung report ko bago ko ibigay minsan sa client. Or at least, nandun yung initial thoughts or ideas, major ideas na kailangan na makita ng client. Because I do not want to give the clients a second-rate reports. So, ganyan yung idea ko. Kaya, sometimes, ang nangyayari dyan, meron pala akong ano dito, no? Discussion points. So, kaya tuloy muna natin. So, what risks do you see in Anna's approach, no? And how might her exhaustion affect her leadership, influence, and decision making? And what could she do differently while still maintaining excellence? So, you see here, there is a risk dun sa approach ni Ana, no, na siya lang ang gumagawa lahat kahit na pagod na siya. Number one, kahit anong pagka-perfect yung i-push mo for that special specific project, no? If you are exhausted, nothing's gonna be ever perfect. Hindi magiging perfect yan. Kasi ang dami mong nami-miss out. It could be a number, totals, or even the supporting schedules. There is a possibility that prone talaga siya sa error. Lalo na if you're the only one working on it. Pangalawa, so if you're the only one working on it, sometimes imbes na makabilis yung task, no? Mas lalong tumatagal, mas lalong nagiging dragging because ikaw lang lahat ang gumagawa. So, you are not sharing the burden to others. When I say sharing your burden, it's not on a bad side, no? But it's more like, how do we make the team work effectively? Yun. So, you're dragging also the efficiency of the whole team. So, how might her exhaustion affect her leadership? So, ikaw, pagod ka na, exhausted ka na, how will you move on? Diba? Pag ako, no time before ha, pag ako sobrang pagod ako sa report. Talagang babad na babad ako sa report. Tipong hindi ako natutulog hanggat hindi ko na nabubuo yung report. After nun, talagang nagsha-shutdown ako. And yung hindi ako makapag-decide properly, hindi ako yung understanding ko sa mga bagay-bagay is very shallow, or I can be easily triggered on certain aspects. Parang I get too emotional, I get too, ayun, parang mabilis kang maapektuhan ng mga bagay-bagay kahit hindi naman dapat. Okay? So, ano yung sinasabi lang natin dito? What are our key points here? So, why self-care may sound like selfishness kasi you have to take a break eh. It's not being selfish. It's just a stewardship of one's leadership capacity. And it sets healthy boundaries, no? To balance the team. Yan. So, in effect, you have to take a rest to take care of yourself para hindi ka rin ma-burn out eventually dun sa leadership role. Kasi if you do this, yung ginagawa ni Anna every time, and you do not seek help from others, or you do not delegate well from others, and you do not work with your team, then eventually you'll get burned out. Ikaw yung mauubos. Para kang isang match, no? Ang tawag doon, yung sa posporo, 'di ba? Pag sinindihan mo yun, unti-unting nauubos, 'di ba? So, what's our message here? Care for yourself so you can keep showing for others. Care for yourself so you can be always there for others. 'Di ba? Yun yung kailangan natin tandaan pagdating sa self. Next. So, character and integrity. So, we have here a scenario. No? So, Miguel is offered a shortcut by a supplier to skip documentation in order to speed up a deal. No one would notice, and it might even help the company close the project faster. So, what internal conflict might Miguel face in this situation? What could be the long-term impact if he accepts the shortcut, and how might his decision shape his reputation as a leader? So, marami, no? Kailan ba naging okay yung shortcuts, no? Parang, wala namang maganda dun sa pagpili lagi ng shortcut, no? Especially here, no, in this case, sabi dito, there is a magsa-skip daw ng documentation. So, sa atin, mga accountants, very, very vital yung documentation sa atin, no? And once we fail on that documentation, maraming sanga-sangang pwedeng mangyari. Aside from, no, it could be recurring kasi pag yan, may ginawa ka ng isang ganyan, pwede siyang maulit-ulit, no? Mapagbibigyan mo ulit yung isang supplier na naman. And ano ba ang makukuha mo dito kapag sinunod mo, or kapag nag-go or nag-act ka beyond what is the correct process, diba? So, maraming internal conflict to. So, ayun, number one, meron tayong mga mamimiss na protocols, and then, yun, yung integrity niya, tatamaan, di ba? Ano ba yung ibang examples natin dito? Like, for example, yun, yung ngayon, paanong nakalusot ang funding or yung withdrawals, di ba, ng cash when it comes to flood control projects. Parang ganun lang yung example, no? Hindi tayo nagiging pagka-politika ngayon. Just an example of a current issue. Parang isa siyang one big example that I don't know if it lacks documentation. Uh, it may not lack documentation, but if you analyze, no, how were they able to pull off withdrawing too much cash, where in fact meron tayong AMLA. And then also, one of the reasons, because sabi nila government projects, and malalaki talaga yung government projects, something like that, no? There is a question now of integrity with land bank, diba? And sila yung parang nasi-shift tuloy sa kanila yung blame when it comes to the documentation, diba? Or how they processed those voluminous cash, diba? So yun. So that is one example of yung pagdating sa integrity, no? And now, how might his decision shape his reputation as a leader? Do you want ba na ikaw, makilala ka na, ay, ito si ma'am, kaya naman, ganito naman pala siya, no? So, sir, ganito naman pala. So, if we want to be known for our character or integrity, let's do the right thing always, no? And let's teach the people or yung nililid natin ng kung ano yung tama and ano ba yung EH rating natin, diba? So, what are the points that we need to consider when it comes to character and integrity? So, integrity means doing what's right even when no one is watching. Shortcuts may save time, but it may cost your credibility. It may not cost the supplier's credibility, no? It may affect him indirectly. Pero yung unang tatamaan nito because you allowed o si Miguel inallow niya na mag-shortcut si supplier, it affects his credibility as a person or as a leader. And every ethical decision reinforces trust within and outside the organization. So, what's our message here? Integrity is quiet strength. It upholds what lasts. So, integrity is the foundation of trust. It is the invisible currency of leadership. Okay? So, next, competence. So, here in our scenario, Leia is assigned to lead a project in an unfamiliar industry. She considers reusing old templates to finish faster but realizes the client's needs are unique. So, yun. I think sa audit na nagkakaroon tayo ng UTB every time dun sa process natin. That is part of our process, audit process. When it comes to other engagements, some are, wala kasi silang UTB process in place, no? But, yan. So, using old templates without thinking or without analyzing the client's needs or without analyzing yung ano ba yung company, ano ba meron dito, and what are they looking for, and what do they need. So, aligning the objectives to the client's needs is very vital for you to be able to execute the task, no? It is very vital for you to be able to understand what is required. Yeah. So, competence does not always mean na kailangan alam ko na to, kailangan master ko na to, nagawa ko na to ng ilang beses. Hindi naman ganon. It's more of, competence is more of you being able to understand what is going on and for you to be able to create something or create something out of nothing, diba? So, it's not a matter of, ano yun, no? Minsan kasi sa atin, for us to just complete the task, no? We comply. But compliance does not equate to competence. Okay? So, yun. Isang sample pa ako dito, no? I know one person, no? He is not that, kung sasabihin natin, he is not well-versed in taxation. But, ikaw yung magugulat sa kanya on how he analyzes things. He is not technically competent on tax because hindi niya kabisado yung law, yung rules, but he is wise enough or he knows enough how to understand what the client is looking for and he understands at least what he needs to do for him to be able to come up with a solution or come up with an output. So, hindi, yun, do not equate compliance with competence because compliance is merely like, susunod ka lang. There's no leadership there, diba? Parang, leadership, yung hindi mo mamamanifest doon yung pagiging leader mo if you will just follow, diba? Here, you have to know or you have to do something out of nothing eh. And that is the true test of competence. Okay? So, competence grows through humility and lifelong learning. So, hindi naman natatapos no, sa isang client, sa isang instance, isang project, yung competence. No? So, it's more of a lifelong learning and it just grows through your experience. Sabi ko nga paulit-ulit lang din ako doon, sinasabi ko, parang ako, kagaya niyo lang ako before. I don't know anything. And competence, wala naman akong competence noon. It just so happened that eventually I grew up. I grew up na literal yung katawan ko lumaki. Ayan. And then through experience yan. Yan yung talagang nag-hone sa akin sa skills na meron ako ngayon. doon na-build yung competence na meron ako. So, whatever it is that you want to develop sa inyo, like katulad yan, yung communication skills ba yan, or technical skills ba yan, you have to do something about it, no? And hindi lang yan yung bastang gusto ko maging ganito. Pero kung wala kang ginagawa for you to develop the skills that you need, for you to be confident enough to face everything or anything, personally or career-wise, then wala kang pupuntahan. Okay? So, excellence is not doing more. Well, sometimes na akala natin, no, kapag marami tayong natatapos, we are good, we are great. But, what's important is doing what matters most better and when it matters. So, hindi naman pwedeng gawa ka lang ng gawa. Oo, tama naman na marami kang na-accomplish. Pero yung bang na-accomplish mo is what really matters now or not. Kasi there is a thin line siguro between the sipag and the diskarte, no? Or those people na ano, no? Kung iaano lang natin, no? Oo, masipag ka, you can do things, no? Kaya mong tapusin, ganyan, gagawin at gagawin mo. But to work smartly, no? That is another level. When we say we work smart, it's not about the volume of what you can finish, but the importance of what you have finished, of what you have completed. Yun yung importante. Okay? So, leaders who connect skill with purpose deliver lasting impact din. Yan. Ano ba yung isang pwede nating maging example dito? Ayan, sometimes also, no, when it comes to task, 'di ba? We were given tasks and not all of us would go for the hardest task. Lagi tayong nandun lang sa dito ako sa kaya ko, sa tingin ko kaya ko. Sometimes we have to take on the hard task for us to be able to test ourselves if we can do it or not. And that is also yung parang reflection also ng leadership natin, no, na kaya ko pa palang i-extend yung sarili ko and through the hard task kasi doon ka mas natututo eh. Mas matututo ka ba doon sa madali na ulit-ulit na ginagawa, kabisado mo na, diba hindi? So mas matututo ka doon sa mas challenging, mas yung mas mahirap, nakakaubos ng brain cells, 'di ba? Parang yun yung mas nag-ano sa atin yung hinahanap nating competence, 'di ba? Kung ano yung mas mahirap na task, yun dapat yung mas piliin natin for us to grow more and to be competent more and to have that confidence even more. So, competence is about mastering one's craft with excellence and aligning it with purpose. So you always remember that whatever you do, you always align it with your purpose. No, hindi lang yan palaging, gagawa lang ako kasi required eh. What's the sense of you doing these things, diba? Yun yung sa tingin ko dapat nagmamatter when you are performing or serving, diba? Okay? So next, emotional intelligence and self-awareness. So here, Jared's team misses an important deadline. So he feels angry, disappointed, but pauses before reacting. He takes a deep breath and asks, help me understand what happened. So what's the difference does Jared's pause make in the scenario? How might the team respond if he had reacted harshly instead? And how can leaders grow their emotional intelligence daily? So you see, sometimes we are, as a leader, we do get frustrated. That's normal. But how you manage that is on another level, diba? Like, for example, matetest ka talaga ng mga tao sa paligid mo or yung mga situation or scenario na nangyayari sa'yo, ano? And what matters here is that how you handle that emotion, that rage, that frustration, para hindi mo siya maipasa sa mga taong nagre-rely din sa'yo as a leader. Okay? So, maganda yung ginawa dito ni Gerald. He takes a deep breath, kinalma muna niya yung sarili niya, and then, instead of blurting out, ano nangyari? Ano ginawa niya dito? Anong, ganyan. Diba? Sige, ganito. Let me understand what happened. Ano ang ginawa nyo? Bakit tayo umabot sa ganito? And then, as an effect, hindi sila magiging matatakot na sumagot na walang sasabihin. Normally kasi, yung mga tao, kapag yan, sigaw-sigawan mo, they either become reactive, nasasagot sila sa'yo na hindi mo lalo magugustuhan and that would trigger you more, 'di ba? Or they will shut themselves. Hindi sila magsasalita ever for the fear na baka kung ano yung sabihin nila mas lalo pang maka-trigger doon sa galit nila ngayon. So, sometimes, 'di ba, yung effect ng sisigawan mo yung tao. I did experience one time na, although hindi naman ako yung sinigawan, but I felt na nung sinigawan niya yung taong yun, I felt yung feeling nung tao na para siyang nilamon ng lupa or para siyang wala na ba akong nagawang tama. So, na-feel ko yung ganong feeling dun sa taong yun and somehow I understand. Naiintindihan ko yung reaction niya. So, yung isang tao, naging reactive siya. Yung isang staff, naging reactive siya dun sa leader or dun sa boss niya. Naging reactive siya na, alam mo yung palaban? Alam niyo yung palaban na talagang dedepensa at dedepensa siya. That would still trigger na lalong mag-elevate yung galit ng boss o ng leader. And then, yung isa naman, tahimik lang siya, hindi siya nagsasalita. Kaso, yun din, actually, it triggered also the leader or the boss. I don't want to tag it as leader kasi leadership is, parang hindi naman siya just a term na gagamitin natin kapag nasa position yung tao, no? I'd like to use the term boss, no? Because that is a position. So, yun, yung boss niya, ang dami nang sinabi sa kanya, wala siyang reaction. And ang effect is, lalo ring na-trigger yung taong yun, yung boss na yun. Kasi wala siyang naririnig na anything or insights from that person. So, lalong na-trigger yung emotional state niya. So, same lang kung i-apply natin sa mga sarili natin yan. In both aspects, no, we say something, we don't say something, or if we put harsh words dun sa mga sasabihin natin, dun sa mga staff or sa mga taong nasa paligid natin or sa team natin, no, tendencies are they can be reactive or non-responsive and that would trigger us more. So instead, for us to be able to have that good relationship with us, we have to learn how to manage our emotions. So, hindi siya madali, no? Hindi siya madali. Wala namang madaling process eh, lalo na kung marami sa atin, no? Maraming hindi marunong mag-handle ng emotion. But, eventually, through practice, through self-awareness, we can remove that connotation or that idea na kailangan lagi tayong galit or lagi tayong too emotional sa mga bagay-bagay. Ayun, sabi ko nga minsan, ang emotional stresses mo, it can trigger actually sanga-sanga yan eh, diba? Na kapag hindi mo masyado na-handle yung stress mo, tendencies, also, pwede ka mag-quit. Yun naman siya, no? So, emotional intelligence starts with self-awareness and self-regulation. So, leaders who respond, not react, build trust and safety. So, dito, si Jared, nag-respond siya. Itong sinabi niya, help me understand what happened. He is responding to the concern of not being able to pass or to pass the requirement within the deadline, diba? And from there, you can see that he is acting on it and he's trying to solve what happened in a sense of understanding what really happened, no? So, from there, instead of yung pagiging regressive ng mga people sa paligid niya, he built yung trust and safety na I can speak out, I can tell my leader what happened. Pwede ko sabihin sa kanya ng malaya nang hindi ako natatakot so kung ano yung sasagot niya or papagalitan ba niya ako. So, yun. And then, understanding emotions improves relationship and decision making. So, what's our message here? So, leading others begins with leading yourself. So, emotionally intelligent leaders, they manage themselves before managing others. Okay? Next. So, leading with your finances. Yan. So, here's another example of how to lead with your finances. No? Ito, A team has an unexpected budget surplus. Some members suggest spending it quickly on unnecessary items so the funds won't go to waste. If the leader would agree to that, no, what do you think are the leadership implications of that decision? And how could the leader use funds more meaningfully? And then how does financial stewardship reflect personal organization and organizational integrity? So, yun nga, marami tayong examples kanina na nabanggit, no? Na how do you spend the rest of your money, ano, on your savings personally? Sabi ko nga, 'di ba, merong ibang habit yung iba that they splurge kasi deserve nila yon. Meron namang iba that they see it, kailangan nilang i-save sa matter of savings. Or yung iba naman, they invest. They are a little wise enough or smart enough to invest the savings that they have. No? So, leading with your finances, okay, to katulad dito. So, ano ba yung mga dapat na ginawa ng team, no? Is it a matter na, uy, may extra pa tayo dito kung halimbawa nakapag, ano kayo, no? Meron kayong, may binigay sa inyo na pocket money. And ang usapan, based on actual receipts, kunwari, yung ano natin, yung CA natin, no? Babalik natin yung mga actual receipts. So, and then, hindi natin naubos. Let's say, for example, 100,000 yan. Sana all may 100,000. 100,000 yan. Tapos, yung 90,000 nagamit talaga natin for the specific event or ano, naubos talaga natin siya. And then, may extra 10,000. Tapos, kunwari, yung team nyo yung nag-facilitate, no, nung event. So, will you use that to, tara, kain tayo sa labas, kain tayo sa, ano, ano yun, unlimited. Sambokajin tayo. Deserve natin to kasi tayo naman yung nag-ayos na to eh. As a leader, would you allow that? Or is it a matter na hindi naman tayo allowed to nagastusin tong pera na to for this purpose, no? And uh, this is only a budget that we need to just in case magkaroon ng problema, we have extra. But it does not mean or it does not necessarily mean na kailangan gamitin natin yung extra dyan for our own convenience or for our own comfort, 'di ba? So, same goes with how you lead your finances personally, 'di ba? Yun. So, stewardship and leadership in action. It's how we honor resources entrusted to us. So, imagine that, no? We were entrusted 100,000 for a specific event. And then, what we actually, you don't sa 90,000, ano na talaga, busog ka na nun. I mean, yung event mo, wala kang kinash out na anything. And, natapos talaga yung event ng maganda, maayos, at walang kahit anumang, tawag dito, walang iba pang mga naging aberya for you to use the other or your surplus, 'di ba? Yun. How do you use those resources? Is it a matter na ibabalik mo ba? Or you will splurge it more kasi you deserve it, 'di ba? Yan. So, wise leader make financial decisions with future impact in mind. So, ano ba yung impact nito kapag ginamit namin to? Pag pinangkain namin to? Syempre, madadagdag to sa cost and expenses ng event namin. So, baka sa susunod, wala na kaming event pag inubos namin to, 'di ba? Yung mga leaders, if you are a wise leader, you will think of what's ahead, no? Pag ginawa mo yung mga bagay-bagay or kapag nag-decide ka on something, no? So, every peso spent reveals priorities and values. So, what's our message here? Stewardship is how leaders protect and multiply what's entrusted. Okay? So, financial wisdom reflects integrity, foresight, and responsibility. It is essential for sustaining impact. Yun. Okay, so each area, yung nabanggit nating areas kanina, yung self-care, character and integrity, competence, emotional intelligence and self-awareness, and leading with your finances, each area strengthens a different part of your leadership core. Your body, heart, mind, and hands all aligned to your extraordinary and heroic purpose. Ayan. So, wrap up na tayo, no? So, growth begins the moment you act on what you know. So, every decision, every response, every habit, they're all shaping your leadership day by day. And you cannot think your way into becoming extraordinary and heroic leader. You have to act. You cannot just think, diba? You have to act your way there. So it's through your daily actions that leadership becomes real. So when you choose renewal over exhaustion, that's self care. When you stand firm for what is right, that's integrity. When you push to improve your craft, that's competence. When you pause to listen before reacting, that's emotional intelligence. And when you handle your resources with wisdom, that's stewardship. So each of these five or six areas in an action field of leadership is an action field of leadership, and where what we believe is tested. This is where what we believe is tested, proven, and strengthened. So as we begin this phase, ask yourself, no, do my daily actions reflect the kind of leader I want to become, or am I leading myself as intentionally as I want to lead others, or as I lead others? So, because leadership maturity is not proven by our intentions, but by our consistent actions, no? Especially when no one is watching. So let's move forward from inspiration to implementation, from knowing to doing, from potential to practice. Because extraordinary and heroic leaders grow through action, not perfection, but consistent, courageous practice. So, yan. Thank you. Maraming salamat po.